Have you ever seen two people who were so close only yesterday suddenly drift away from each other? They do not quarrel or break up on sight. They simply move apart, slowly and quietly. Isn't that weird? If this has ever happened to you, you've probably wondered yourself, what happened? Was it me? Was that them? Even though it happens so frequently, the surprise is nevertheless devastating. The way it raises questions that elicit investigation about relationships, the function of silence itself, and the realities revealed is really interesting. I just ask whether you've ever been in a position like this. If so, just stick with me today as we try to figure out what this quiet means and what lessons it teaches. This is a modest reason why two once close friends have drifted apart. However, the cause is not always obvious. This silence is devoid of words, body language, and kindnesses, and it feels like an empty space. That calm, however, is far from empty. Silence can have deep meaning. In that place, feelings, new ideas, and hidden facts emerge. Truths that could have been hidden deep within, or perhaps obscured by the flow of daily existence. Does this happen to you? Perhaps there are times when saying nothing is more important than giving the best discourse ever. In contrast, while connection can strengthen relationships, it also necessitates a delicate balance. Sometimes the connections we value cause us to forget who we are. How often do we become so involved in a relationship that we lose sight of our own needs and desires? Easy ways to lose yourself while you focus on shared routines, common goals, and how good it feels to be with someone. But here's the thing. It stops us when it's quiet or distant. It makes one think and raises very hard concerns in one's heart. What exactly does this friendship mean to me? Does he truly feel this way? What am I giving it, and what am I receiving from it? It's somewhat disturbing, but it's present nonetheless. Unlike anything else, silence, as uncomfortable as it may appear, acts as a magnifying glass, bringing the dynamics of your relationship and your inner landscape into closer focus. Have you ever stepped away from a relationship and discovered something new about yourself? For the majority of them, change is more important than travel. It's time to consider what attempts or investments are worthwhile for you. Consider this. Are you ever the connection holder? What was it about your texts, calls, and activities that kept everything together? If you've ever wondered, what if I give up trying? You've already begun to consider that possibility. For some, being silent is a modest test for another. One does not react or text every other day, not out of hatred or rage, but simply to see how strong this could be. This tries. Do you like this as much as I do? Will you notice the gap and take action to close it? Have you ever formed a friendship like this, even accidentally? If so, you are absolutely not alone. Most of us have felt a secret desire to test if the link we formed is truly mutual. The answers can be eye-opening and even startling, but silence has nothing to do with the other person. Frequently, it is self-preservation. The more intimate and destructive such connections get, the more easily one loses their individuality. Retreating now refers to guarding oneself from being absorbed by the other's presence. It is not about giving up on the other, but about reclaiming one's own space. Let me ask you this. Have you ever felt awful about needing alone time? So don't. This is quite normal, but it does not have to be. Setting limits is not the same as saying no. It is a kind of self-care. It allows one to remain authentic to himself while also demonstrating concern for the connection. And when each acknowledges the other's limitations, the connection is typically strengthened rather than weakened. This calm period is crucial for true progress. Life takes many different forms, including work, family responsibilities, and personal aspirations. Relationships are vital, yet there are times when we need to focus on overall progress. This does not mean we are disregarding it, rather, it demonstrates that we are maturing. Here is something to think about. When two people grow apart, they often bring new energy and ideas into their partnership. Have you ever felt that? A time apart that revealed how much you truly feel about the other person? Perhaps I showed you something different. Your paths are unique and cannot be rectified. That reminds me of a sad truth. Sometimes the sweetest goodbye is quiet. Not all friendships should be lengthy. Ever been in a scenario when you knew deep down that it was time to let go, but you couldn't say it out loud? However, at these points, quiet is the best way to accept what has been conveyed. And rather than terminating things with harsh words or dramatic actions, the friendship will simply fade. A quiet ending may be heartbreaking, but it is also a nice way to go forward. If you're experiencing this right now, take a moment to reflect. What does the stillness tell you? Is it a call to reconnect and rebuild the relationship on firmer foundations? Is it a sign that it's time to let go and honor the journey you've shared? This is a difficult medium to work in, but it is also an excellent instructor. Silence causes people to confront truths they would ordinarily avoid. It enables people to understand their goals, what is important, and how they have changed. Have you ever used silence to help you understand yourself or your relationships better? Indeed, such an occasion can be revolutionary. It frequently refers to rekindling the bond that brings two people closer together via fresh respect and understanding. For some, it will serve as a stepping stone to new routes in life filled with fresh opportunities. When you find a quiet moment in your relationship, don't rush to fill it. Take some time to dwell with it. Pay attention to what it tells you. Silence can be used to strengthen the link or to allow for careful upward movement, but either way, it's a worthwhile journey. Think about your own ties. Let me ask you, what has quiet taught you? How has it affected your connections? Share your trip experiences in the comments below. We'd love to hear your adventures. If this study touches your heart, let us discover more fundamental truths about human connection and interaction. Click the subscribe button, like the video, and tell us what this notion reminds you of. Together, we can comprehend how complex silence is and the information it provides. Thank you for viewing, and we will see you in the future video.